one set for us this evening. Matchup will be Verstoert versus Tutus Asylum.
His in-game name is Dark Tutu. Why don't we just call him? I'm cool.
Dark
I think Tutu. I think Tutu actually is the uniting name.
Yeah, I mean he has a few different names, but nonetheless, we have a best of 5 between these two. Seed 1, Seed 8 here. Quite fun. Home maps are available. Green here. We do have Banana, a home selection. Verstoert, always fun to see. We also have Banana Grounds for him. Tutu has selected lanes. Ara, obviously game 1. Arabia. So going to be a lot of fun. A lot of diverse maps here, Jabari.
Indeed, and we're also at the phase of this tournament where every surviving player is incredibly strong and has demonstrated a will to win. So I expect very competitive games, some real struggles, and possibly some very spirited comebacks. And, things should be pretty good.
Looking forward to seeing how they hash this one out. Civilizations for Tutu: Italians, Lithuanians, Berbers, Mayans, Malians, and Aztecs. Then Verstoert having Celts, Franks, Sicilians, Khmer, and Saracens. Very interesting Civ draft here. Tutu's going for more of the mainstream, high-level, top Civs, I feel like. Where Verstoert has gone for more of a all-in type plays here, it looks like.
It's so hard to say. I mean, what are the top tier civs for Bambera or Banana Man?
No, true. I'm just saying, like, with like the mainstream, like I feel like Mayans, Berbers, Lithuanians, Aztecs are all like top tier and regarded top tier for most open maps. So we'll see. We'll see how it works out. I mean, it should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it myself. We're gonna actually dive in here to Arabia, though. We won't waste any time here. Jabari, I'm at 5 seconds when you're ready.
Count it down.
3, 1, go. Tutu gonna be in the yellow with Lithuanians here. He is the high seed for this one, and looking to be starting quite nicely with that Lithuanian food that you start with. Oh, so nice. And on the other side, Sicilians for Verstoert here. Another civ that we have seen quite a bit, actually. So we'll see how this works out. And Monkey has some additional statistics. Jabari, you want to explain the situation we've come across with these for this one?
Yep. So with the most recent update to DE, the monkey broke. In particular, the lines in the map script file where you set his attack and armor just stopped working. I actually have fixed it since, but there was like only a 1-day time difference between when the update was made to the game and when this was played. And I didn't have a solution in time. So as a temporary solution, we just made the monkey completely unable to use his attack for this one game only.
Yep.
So the monkey is essentially like a horse scout. No opportunity for aggression with it. It actually completely changes the balance a ton, but I believe both players were informed and are aware of it. So I don't think that it will be all that impactful in the end.
Indeed. Knight, yes, everything's sorted out for this set. I meant for the remaining sets that have yet to be played. Wondering if you could do that. But we can talk more about that later. No worries, though. But both players with some good civs here for this map. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. It's so hard to say what civ sets are favored here against civilians, in my opinion.
I mean, in my experience as an archer player, I think archers match up well against them. So Lithuanians aren't exactly playing in that direction. I think Sicilians do pretty well versus cavalry civilizations, but I keep saying this, man. I'm buying the DLC with Sicilians and Burgundians tonight, man. No more of this.
Fair enough, fair enough. Knight, we'll talk about it later, good sir. Message you about it again. But maps looking pretty good for Tutu here. He will have a decent little wall off on the side. Berries are safe. Gold very forward. Stones also not the greatest, but all in all, he should be pretty happy here. Could get a nice little wall up here. Wants to. But on the other side for Verstoert, it's going to be quite an effort to wall this map for himself. So we'll see what he goes for, if he even goes for walls at this point. We have seen them quite frequently, but some players have decided to go against using walls in the early game and try to put the pressure on very nicely.
Yeah, I mean, the meta thing is to not really wall any considerable amount until Feudal Age, maybe do some small walling. I mean, you truly are setting yourself back very considerably to wall in Dark Age. So, Verstoert, I don't believe he's been a hardcore waller in this set so far, or in this series, or in this tournament, I mean to say. So, yeah, I expect a pretty quick up into Scouts, walls not being especially prioritized for him.
Indeed. Things should be pretty interesting here in the early game. The Sicilians not getting that effective bonus damage against them. They can take fights against Spearmen rather effectively should we see Dark head in that direction at all. But obviously it's speculation at the moment, so we'll see how things go. Kados, things have been going well. We've made it to the quarterfinals here, which again, my scoreboard is wrong. We'll fix that in between games, guys. Do apologize. It's the round of 8. The heads up there. But all in all, it's looking very good moving forward. Lots of good sets, this one included here. Really hoping to see this go the distance.
Even if it doesn't go the distance, I expect every game to be hard fought. I did go back and review these guys' games. Verstoert actually was the player to lose water early on Banana Cove and win it with a fight on land.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the guy is not going to be calling any early GGs, I can tell you that.
Yeah. 21 pop and up for Dark 2-2, but it looks like it would be 22 pop and up here. Who should be able to force drop off the food. Interesting build for him here. Did go to the farm eco a little bit earlier than I think most players do, although it feels like probably a practice build at this.
Yeah, 1 or 2 farms around the transition time I think is pretty standard for Scouts, among other builds. As Dark very clearly signaling that he will be going archers. There's no other reason to have this many on gold.
Gonna go Man-at-Arms first, though.
Indeed, yes.
See what it looks like here. Honestly, Man-at-Arms against Sicilians won't be too bad, especially if he's this open and damage could be done. We'll see what the reaction times look like. Obviously, Scouts are probably what's expected from Lithuanians.
Indeed. But, I mean, yeah, and I'm no build expert, but these guys both have 3 on gold. We might see an archer war here, oddly.
Yeah, that is definitely an oddball, but Wolf is going to chase after these militia. Monkey is also around here for 2-2, so he should be pretty happy with his position. Some very obscure walls coming up here for Verstoert, and he will be under heavy pressure, Man-at-Arms, and we're going to have Avil drop an archery range. So yeah, archers is the play.
Indeed.
And
this monkey is just here for intimidation. He's actually unable to swing his arms.
Yeah, it makes this a little awkward, but all in all, it is even for both players, at least. It's unfortunate that the update broke us, but get things fixed. Like you said, you already did the update earlier this evening.
It should be fixed.
Good. All things look up for the monkey. We do have a blacksmith and an archery range with 2 archers already queued, and he should be able to hold this if he pays attention to the palisade wall. Looks like he will be repairing it. And yeah, Kato, so the update yesterday broke our monkey, so we had to remove the attack until we could fix it, and Jabari was able to fix it. But you see the statistics here. The armor is absolutely insane. The attack is absolutely insane. We just made it so that their range was basically impossible for them to hit anything. It's awkward, but it's all we could really do at the time that we had. Yesterday was a very rough problem-solving style day, to be honest.
Indeed, as this Men-at-Arms rush has kind of gotten minimal damage, if any damage at all. I would say that these Men-at-Arms have been kind of a waste, honestly. Though, as Lithuanians, you start up that extra food, so it doesn't actually put you behind. Still, well, maybe it actually will find damage here on the second wood.
Yeah, it looks like a good area for him to attack. Now, he is going to do a good job attacking this and maybe microing this away. The monkey is here yet again, which is a bit unfortunate for him here. A few houses come down to defend this, and there are 3 archers on the field now. Behind this, it is an archery range, and there will be archers coming forward here as well, which is a strange thing to transition, I feel like, with Lithuanians, but that is the case that we have here.
I mean, when I get Lithuanians, I go archers. It doesn't hurt to have the ranges and the upgrades if you later want to go skirms. Maybe we've just finally reached the level of play where archers are seen more. Like, I don't just always go archers because I think they're more fun. I do believe it's the more dominant unit that translates better into Castle Age. So, in general, unless you're Spanish or another civ that doesn't get crossbow, archers is always a fine opening.
Yeah, and we'll see if it works out. I mean, both players are headed for this, where Sicilians probably transition a little better, because Lithuanians, I don't believe, get Arbalest. They go into the Spear late game here. But we'll see if that even becomes a thing. Both players are going to be dropping quite a few farms, and behind this, the economy looks a little bit better here. A little less idle TC time for Dark 2-2. So, Eco a little bit more efficient, +2 on the villagers count, but 0 vill kills in the game. Only things to go down are a few Man-at-Arms thus far.
Yep, everything even except Verstoert is just taking a crushing fight here. Dark gets pretty much all of his archers cleaned up, and Verstoert in a ranged unit battle is just so far ahead now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Type what there, Hitch? So there's still this hole. Awkward to leave this open. It is only 1 tile gap. So Dark is going to be able to keep his army here and pressure, but I think we're going to see the counter attack come in, as it's just a bunch of skirmishers here.
You say just a bunch of skirmishers, but 6 skirms with both feudal age blacksmith upgrades cannot be engaged by archers. Verstoert actually has no defense for this. I mean, the stable's coming up. It will probably be able to get a scout out in time to defend this, but Dark is at least forcing a reaction, forcing Verstoert to invest more into feudal age.
Yeah, and the archers will be here quickly, though. Skirmishers gonna do some damage. Don't know if they're even gonna get a Vill kill at this point, but will cause some idle time, which is always a plus. Stable with a few scouts going to be coming out as the villagers run from the gold, as the archers have made it, and 1 vill is very exposed here and may go down, but doesn't look like Verstoert is going to chase that, as he's something in his base. Back and forth here. Nice little quick house walls leading to the town center. Still, a few vills could be reached here.
Yep, it's a good wall defense. Dark is not taking any Vill damage, but at the same time, Verstoert probably isn't too unhappy to just continue tracing around the outside of the base. He's forcing a ton of idle time.
Well, he dove.
He dove. Yeah, this is going to be able to do probably a ton of damage. Though, if I'm Verstoert here, I'm almost getting a little scared to have this army buried too deep in a base of a player who I know is going skirms with full feudal upgrades. I mean, this army can do some idling, maybe kill a couple vills, but if this army gets cleaned up, it's kind of a disaster for Verstoert. So Verstoert, despite being the pressuring player here, is possibly sweating a little bit with this army.
Yeah, but honestly, I like the decision. And back home, Skirmisher Edition is going to be cleared up. The scouts are clearing that up. The archer numbers will likely be cleared up, But honestly, the eco efficiency is less than 19%, actually below 17% now for worker efficiency for Dark. It
Oof, it
will
is.
lose this, but
Yeah, I mean, that would have been 15 crossbowmen. Like, that's the kind of army that can almost win a game, that can turn any fight. Losing those archers while they're just archers is pretty bad, but he does get away with half of them, so probably worth the sacrifice.
yeah, and honestly, his KD is 20 to 8 right now. He is the only person who has killed villagers as well. And all that idle time really slowed down the castle age time, and now Dark Tutu is buying and selling at the market, trying to get up faster here. And the archers are going to come around and hit the gold yet again.
Yep, round two. 2-2 just can't take any gold.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is an excellent value here for the. He did lose a big batch of them. I love it. I think it was well played. He's going to be safe at home. Looks like he's pretty much walled up. Not the greatest wall up, but all in all. Scouts are forward too. There are 3 scouts here on the field with no upgrades, but against skirmishers with these archers is going to be quite a helpful spot here. Dort is on the way to Castle Age, not too far behind Dark's time, but villagers will likely die if they stay here.
Yep,
This is so many
and
vills. Wow.
yeah, indeed. And Verstoert is not queuing up any additional crossbows, which kind of suggests that he's actually going to go for knights and just discontinue this archer play. So, in his mind, these archers were just throwaway units all along. And from that perspective, they've been absolutely huge.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a ton of idle time. I don't know what Dark is trying to do with these. He has no military, I guess, the skirms, trying to clear up the scouts. But that was a big time investment here, as it will be double stable, it looks like, for Dark as he gets up. But again, what a beautiful use of these few archers that were left here.
For sure. I mean, Dark definitely could have microed the Vills better, but the net result of this is that Dark has had literally half of his Vills idled by just a few archers. The economic advantage of Verstoert is huge.
Yeah, there are 2 stables here for Verstoert as well. And he's got bloodlines coming in. He already has +1 defense, so he's going to be equal in upgrades. An instant monastery here for Dark. Don't see another TC being added just yet. But that gold of being so forward is really going to be difficult to defend here.
Versus Knights with his own monks as well. I can imagine the walls staying up. But yeah, Dark, if he gets pushed off that gold for a second, is unable to continue monk and knight production, is probably going to lose the game.
Yep, a second and a third town center being added here for V, so he plans on booming up with a little bit less military on the field.
I mean, I don't dislike it. In the end, the player with the stronger eco is the winning player almost every time. Feels safe enough to go for 3 TCs. Maybe he also likes the Civ matchup for the late game. If you're able to slam 3 TCs and keep up constant production at the start of Castle Age, it never feels like a bad thing to do.
Yep, Knights will find this town center, so Dark will know the situation. There's only 2 of them, though. They only have a +1 defense at the moment, so these Knights might get some damage in, but there are 4 Knights here for V as well.
Yep. Yeah, these Knights, they might get literally only a single Vill. Probably not even worth the deaths of these 2 Knights for that.
Now, 1 Vill is indeed all that has been taken thus far. Knights in the front are trying to break through. But now the Knight production has faltered here. Not going to be able to keep up that production with 3 town center production behind this. So we'll see how the reaction comes in. And this frees up Dark to add another town center at home. We'll have monks on the field headed out for relics. So he will be trying to grab those up and get that attack here for himself.
Yep, and I was just saying that I don't mind the decision to get 3 TCs running, but it does kind of look like Verstoert has completely given up the military initiative. He is now matching the queue. He's behind a bit in numbers, though. I do worry that if he lets Dark continue to just queue knights, never lose anything else, plus get relics, Dark is just going to have a superior cavalry army.
Yeah, and V is lacking his eco upgrades already. Could have had those with more military presence on the field. It's always a questionable decision to see what you go with here early. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the dropping 3 TCs right away. Like to add some military first, personally.
I see that.
Knight numbers are pretty good for both. A little bit more in the way of knights here for V as he takes the fight. And it looks like they're do a little bit of dancing around to hold the hill. And plus, forging is coming in for both at the moment.
Yep, but Verstoert just has more absolute numbers in this one fight. Dark wisely disengages pretty quickly.
First relic is coming back though, so it will be +2 attack for a Lithuanian player here. And the farming economy is looking good for both players, but we do have 33 farms compared to 26 right now. Verstoert leading in that category at the moment. Knights running in the back. It would be really nice if he'd wall up the back for himself. It's like the third time they've dove in there, and there he's going to place some walls.
Yep, completely agree. Dark is showing that this is one of the things he likes to do, run very small groups of knights into his base. Verstoort's just been leaving the door open, but he is, as we say that, laying the wall to prevent this from happening anymore.
Yep, but right now a lot of knights in the economy will be somewhat of an issue. We are seeing scale mill armor added, which is a bit rough. Don't really want to see barracks added here, but that is the situation we are going to see. So it will be a pikeman addition coming soon as Dark takes out some villager numbers here, and soon he will probably be in the villager lead at this pace.
Yeah, Verstoort, he did not have his TCs running for a lot of that time, and he's also been floating a tremendous amount of gold. In the end, Verstoort really hasn't been outproducing in Vils that much. He's been taking losses. Dark is finding himself in the better position here, I'd say.
Yeah, one knight left behind gets another vill here. Turns out to be pretty equal as far as villager count. Military numbers still in the favor of V, though, at the moment, but just in this area.
Yeah, Dark, though, he's getting the relics as Lithuanians.
Yep, a third relic being collected right now. The other two are very much on the side of Verstoort's map, but Lithuanians with those bonuses, man, it's so hard to beat the Cav now. Get some mass.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, I definitely support the Pike edition from Verstoort because the Lithuanian knights with the monasteries holding those relics, I mean, they just have such strong attack that you're not going to win heads up in cavalry. You literally need the pikes to have a chance.
And holy farm numbers coming in here. Verstoort really just trying to boom behind this now. Big Dark's doing the same thing. He's got a little bit of a villager advantage right now, given all the raids that have been completed. But these Cav have 10+4 now. And honestly, this other relic in the north could be up for grabs, as there's no monk on the field headed towards that. There's one healing for V, but gotta contest those.
It's too late. The relics are lost, essentially. The monks are still decent for the combat, but Lithuanians simply have their relics at this point.
Big fight there. Monk does go down, but it did get a conversion, so it's done its job well. And, yeah, Verstoort seems to be falling behind here. Forward Siege Workshop coming for Dark. More barracks being added here. Gonna be a rough position moving forward against these, what is this, 10+5 knights right now. So he has 3 relics.
Yeah. I mean, both players are kind of mirroring each other, popping up really well, just continuing to produce Vils and Knights. And Lithuanians are just literally strictly superior in this regard. Verstoort's only hope is to add pikemen and force engagements.
And he is going to take a little bit of a bad exchange, it looks like. He's going to run to the bottom of the hill, turn around and fight. I guess trade these off for what you can, but a very clear loss here for on that front. I don't think, but maybe 2 knights for Dark went down there.
Yeah, that was a horrible trade for Verstoert. He needs to have pikemen in the mix when he takes a fight. I mean, each knight is what, doing 3 additional attack compared to Verstoert's per swing. That means like every time the entire army takes a full swing, he's essentially like peeling off more than a half knight's worth of HP. Like the Lithuanian relic bonus is an incredibly strong military bonus.
Yes, indeed. But will be a decent number of pikemen. The issue here is still outnumbered, and it's not the greatest situation here to fight with. They do not have full upgrades.
Yeah, and he's kind of not replenished his own knights. I mean, pure pike versus pure knight feels better for the knight player here. Verstoert, I think, is done for, man. This is an army of 30 knights in his base, and Verstoert has essentially no defense. I'm failing to see how Verstoert comes back here.
Now, looks like he's going to try to grab a few conversions here, which he does get one. Nice, but there's not any pikes left on the field. There's 19 in queue right now across all of these barracks. And the town centers being idle this long do a little bit of damage, but the knights do have full upgrades, plus relic bonus. I mean, he will survive this attack, but at a great cost here.
I question whether he will survive this attack. He can't afford to just let these knights keep going. He doesn't have the army to defend it. I think that he's between a rock and a hard place here, and GG is probably the only move left for Verstoert.
Yeah, very possible. I mean, these knights are doing quite a bit of damage here. We'll see. I mean, he's hanging in there. He's going to be far behind here. There's the GG coming in. So V is going to call it here. Really close-looking game. I think the 3 TCs at the start really, really hurt Verstoert here.
Yeah, I mean, he also could have just delayed the fight until he had pikes in the mix. Maybe he didn't realize that the Lithuanian player had all those relics. But, I mean, Dark's strategy here was relatively simple. Be Lithuanians, collect the relics, attack with heavy cavalry, and letting them just pick up all those relics at the start of Castle Age without contests. You just literally can't do it. It is almost a win condition for Lithuanians to collect relics.
And the eco looks so good behind it too. 715 relic gold.
Yep. But, you know, man, it's an incredibly non-standard map pool. The fact that Dark has bested his opponent on Arabia does not say too much for what we can expect for the rest of the series.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be best of 5. You guys missed out on that. This is quarterfinals set here. I did update the scoreboard as well. While we'll switch back over, though, to the Civ draft and put the maps back on the screen for you here. Lithuanians with the win over Sicilians will go to a home map here for Verstoert. I believe the Battlegrounds or Banano Grounds next. And lots of good Civ options here for both players.
Indeed. It's really tough to guess what they'll go for here. Banana Grounds can be played kind of like an Arabia type map. It seems like everything that we've said all along about the meta is possibly false. The removal of Hunt from the middle, at least the boars, completely changes the meta some more. So, yeah, why don't we just hop right into it?
Yep, I am loading up now. I'm in at 5 seconds. Ready.
Count it down.
Dark Tutu here after the game 1 victory, going with the Berber civilization. Faster moving bills, very nice bonus for sure. And then we have Verstoert with the Teutons. A civ I don't know if we've seen played on this map ever.
You know, I absolutely love it. With the removal of extra boars from the middle, farms are extremely important on this map. I think you're almost required to start farming in Dark Age. You need like probably 4 or 5 more farms than usual just to get to Castle Age. the Teuton farm bonus is going to be tremendous here. But as you mentioned off the bat for Berbers as well, the Berber Vil speed is huge on this map too, because there's just so much good res to grab in the middle. And having your Vils be a little speedier can make all the difference with them surviving when the enemy army comes to try and take them off that deer.
Yeah, and another situation though we're seeing for Dark is he not scouted towards the center of the map already, and there's already 4 additional herdable turkeys headed towards Short's base. And honestly, he's only missed a few of them on the map, and they are very far from Dark. And if Tutu finds all of those at home, he'll probably be confused as to why his opponent has so many if he sees it, honestly.
Yep, I mean, straight up, I don't think Dark has practiced this map, or else he would have known to go out to mid with his monkey. Verstoert taking a very nice home map advantage, immediately collecting all the extra herdables on the map.
He currently has 7 of them alive. There are 2 dead under the town center rotting right now. But he's not even worried about it because he's going to find, honestly, all but 3 of them, it looks like, thus far.
Yep, and Verstoort doing a very speedy boar lure. I feel like he must not have processed the fact that the monkey has had his attack ability removed, because I feel like Verstoort's only doing that as a lame defense. As I guess Dark's also doing the same.
Yeah, I mean, bringing in the boars early, though, it's only 1 boar, so it is a huge loss if you are to lose it. So no matter the situation with the monkey, I think it's good that these guys are getting practice of protecting that boar on this map. I mean, personally, I'm in love with the change that we made to this map. I don't know how everyone else has perceived it just yet, but I find it to be even more of an entertaining map now. Given it's much more difficult to advance to the next stage, you really have to focus the center to get some of these herdables, or you have to go to the middle to get that hunt.
I mean, we haven't seen too many games played out on it since the change, but I won't fight the change. Hardcore feudal fighting is now just part of this map. It's to do a fast castle, you're going to need to do some crazy hijinks, which I don't think either of these players are prepared for.
Yeah, I mean, that said though, there's over 1,000 foods in here to the town center for Verstoort in just herdables alone right now. And he still has his deer to take and could move out on the map if he so chose, plus that farming bonus and the berries. He's got quite a bit of food at home. Dark is going to wall up here, and it looks like he's going to go out to the hunt, and his berries are very nicely positioned. Still working on a few of his herdables, but ultimately, I think he'll be very, very confused if he watches this back. That was not prepared for all these herdables in the center. Honestly, I think Verstoort is having an issue moving them around. He's killed quite a few of them by accident here under his town center, which is never what you want to see, but all in all, it's still under his TC.
And both players walling up here, but Verstoort notably is actually including a gold within his walls. Dark, his walls, they're going to cut out all of his mineral resources. So, I mean, he won't even be able to get to feudal age staying only inside these walls.
For
Or
sure.
get through the feudal age, rather.
Both players grabbing Loom right now, but I don't think that they're going to have enough to go up. Maybe Dark will. He's got a lot of income on food. It's going to be close. Yeah, he will have it, actually.
Yeah, just a little idle time, and they both are clicking up in similar fashion. I assume Verstoort has got 1 or 2 more Vils tops here to go.
Yeah, he's sitting a little bit shy on the food. Garrisons again. He's really trying to get it, and just has been short there. He's able to drop off food on the berries. Wall's going to be up. Looks pretty good. I don't see any gaping holes here. And it looks like he's going to create himself a little bit of an arena. We saw this a lot whenever players used to bring all these boars in and try to get up castle age a little faster that way. See what happens. Some quick walls here for Dark, as he will be safe as he can be with the gold, even though it's so exposed.
Yeah, 100% worth it. For like 20 gold, he ensures that his vills are safe from men-at-arms and scouts. Minimal investment, huge payoff. I think it's always worthwhile to do that if your gold is open.
Yep, and the walls are going to be up, but there will be what I believe will be man-at-arms coming forward here. Militia at the moment, but farms being dropped. Gold is there. Should be clicking that man-at-arms upgrade. Yep, and again, another man-at-arms opening. This does feel like something you see a lot more higher levels of A where players really try to get the drush or man-at-arms play, benefit them nicely here.
Yep, and the players are differing here. I believe Dark's going archers, Verstoert will be going scouts. I don't mind either player's approach. Dark is vulnerable to scouts, and Verstoert is vulnerable to archers, so both players are going to potentially take some damage here in Feudal.
Yeah, and awkward position though. The scouting for Dark has not found his opponent yet. He is unaware of where his opponent is. Will run into him here. You can deduce where his is at least. But on the other side, have the monkey forward here for Verstoert, and he knows and he sees the archery range. He knows exactly what is coming his way.
Indeed, and honestly, man, these walls, they'll give him a start. They'll give him some protection, but men-at-arms plus archers, I think, are going to be able to get in on Verstoert.
Yeah, Man-at-Arms not doing anything right now, though. He's just sitting back. That is never what you want to do. Idle military, he loses games here. He can see this, maybe? This has to be a bug.
I'd believe it if that was visible.
Maybe. It's going to be visible for sure now, so not a big deal. But there is a palisade there that could go down very quickly. Reaction will have to come in almost immediately for this to be blocked off, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen here.
Yeah, that is just insane how quickly those men-at-arms are taking it down. I think at least two of them are probably getting downhill hits, and just like that, it's as if there was no wall.
Yep, and farming numbers are here, but the military is going to be on the wood line, and these could all be downhill hits, which could be huge if it happens. A house on both sides? No, he's in.
I'm going to keep saying it, man. Stone walls are the way. I know players like to keep their full 200 stone, but this is an absolute tragedy. Verstoert, how many vills are there going down here? 2, 3 maybe? Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Big losses.
Yeah,
Big.
just... he had multiple opportunities to re-wall and quick wall that. That's rough to see.
Yeah, and honestly, with him trying to boom like this, he's really... I mean, he's not booming entirely. He does have scouts out on the field, but going into all these farm investments and probably seeing that at some point, I feel like hard to miss that unless, you know, the notification doesn't go off for you or you don't pay enough attention to it, I guess. But, man, that 3 vills could still be alive in this game for him.
Indeed. Yeah, but you know, he has Tutus, he has the extra farms. He could very plausibly get up to Castle Age a lot faster than his opponent. He's like at 20 farms while Dark is still at 10. So a faster Castle Age time could totally negate those losses there for him.
Yeah, and with that additional melee armor, he takes a very nice exchange against the one spear that was there. Gonna push the archers back here. There are some exposed vills out here. Gonna be some very nice quick walls, and there are more spears in the back here, so these scouts probably won't get much more done. He will hold some map control, though, I feel like, with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind creating a small number of scouts on this map and having them do no damage, though Verstoert has a proper army here of 7 scouts with 2 more in queue. If you invest this much, you're looking for damage, and with these numbers, honestly, he can clean up.
Yeah, and he will take a very favorable fight downhill here, microing well. Archer numbers going down. The spears were not attacking there. Losing a lot of the army here. Dark is in some trouble. Spears, though, are on the hunt, and there is some low HP. Quick wall doesn't go down. Villagers are exposed here as well. All in all, I think Verstoert will be very happy with this exchange.
counterattack is arguably doing just as much, if not more, as Dark did to Tutu. I'm sure Verstoert has already forgotten about those 3 Vills that died on his woodline.
Yeah, I mean, he has only killed 1 Vil, but he has taken out a lot of spears. It was a big investment for those. Another Vil will go down outside here, and probably this archer as well. Lots of archers. Oh, and there's a hole. So
Yeah.
these other scouts will get away. And another
And
Vil, too. Oh,
yeah, and look at his food economy, man. It's insane. Like, he's clicking up while Dark is in the like double-digit food count still.
yeah. It's a very sick... Teutons are underrated on some maps, I feel like, but that farming bonus is just so amazing. What is it, 40 wood to create a farm or something
Yep,
like that?
40 wood to create a farm. So by the time he has 25 farms, which he's almost at, he's saved 1,000 wood. Is that correct? That's insane.
Yeah, that is... It's
Oh no,
insane.
it's 500. 500 wood is saved, but still, it's pretty good savings for feudal age.
Still, that's ridiculously insane. I mean, and honestly, he is on wood so lightly now. It's a very nice eco balance for him as well to get up this early. He's gonna be up at least a minute ahead, I'd say. Maybe a full 2 minutes ahead, actually. Just actually insane. And Dark.
And let's hope he goes for quick nights instead of TCs this time.
And the scouts are still forward, and they're gonna properly do some more damage here. This one seems to be sucked. There we go. But Dark, not able to click up just yet. Invested a lot into the Spear and Archer play. And, oh, there's going to be another Vil kill here, it looks like. Verstoert is doing great with this early, heavy Scouts play here on this map. Impressive.
And Dark clicks up, but he clicks up with no army that even resembles a Castle Age army. I guess he's planning to hard switch into multi-stable production, but Verstoert, he's going to be able to recoup the economy lead by a lot, plus start getting the knights out sooner. Verstoert is ahead by a lot in this game.
100%. The villager count is the same, but there's no eco up, well, the wheelbarrow, but there's no horse collar or double bit axe for Dark here. He's going to be getting up, like you said, with no stables whatsoever. He doesn't have enough on wood right now either to keep this going for very long as he's producing spears, it looks like. Another one popped out there.
You know, it kind of reminds me of the way that Dark had his gold so idle in the last game during the feudal attack. These feudal attacks really mess up Dark's builds. I mean, he recovered very nicely last game, but at this moment, Dark is not looking like he's ready to take advantage of the Castle Age.
There was a little
buying wood to slam the stables. Okay.
There was a little bit of an awkward exchange here. Some spears and archers make it in. Did grab a Vil pick, but now we have +2 knights with +1 attack coming forward. These spears don't stand a chance. The melee armor is also already at 5 for these knights with that extra bonus here. I mean, it's brutal. Brutal. And he's going to be forward attacking the only gold that Dark is taking.
Indeed. If he can just break through, sit on this gold, Dark is going to be unable to produce his own heavy cavalry, and Verstoert will have himself a quick win.
Yeah, I don't think that Tutu is going to be able to hold. He did drop stables. He is going camels, but camels aren't quite as good against Teutons because the extra melee armor is just a huge factor, honestly.
Yep, the bigger factor, though, is just the numbers. Is Tutu going to catch up? Like, camels beat knights if they're, like, in 4 to 5 numbers, something like that. They need to be approximately the same.
He's in on the goal.
Yeah, 2 stable versus 2 stable when one player's up by 10. Just the math doesn't work. Dark's never going to have an army that can fight this.
Yeah, and B is just running around a little bit more. He's yet to take the straight fight here. And he's building up more numbers on the outside. Here comes that fight. And all the camels are not there for Dark. This is a bad start for this exchange for him. Camels doing well. Get that bonus damage. But with that extra melee armor, it looks very, very small in comparison here.
Yep, the army was dwindled there. That actually went better for Dark than I was expecting. But Verstoert with a full army of reinforcements. I mean, it's just the mirror image of last game, except this time it is Verstoert who has a giant cavalry army camping the enemy TC. Dark's farms are idle. His gold is soon to be idle. He has no standing army. This is hardcore GG right here.
Yeah, and this gate will melt, and then all the wood eco, which is 9 vills, won't stand a chance. He's actually committing 4 vills to the repair here, and it's still not going to be enough. He'll run out of wood before anything. Military lead is 13-3. Well, we also have iron casting coming behind this for Verstoert. I mean, GG is going to be coming in anytime now.
Maybe, yeah. Verstoort needs to just keep his queue up. Okay, as I see, he now has a third stable going. This is exactly what he does. Yeah, so long as the knights keep coming, Dark was never going to be able to muster something to repel that. Very
Yeah.
nice equalizer, man. We have ourselves a series.
Yeah, impressive. It was a very interesting selection, to be honest. I was kind of surprised to see Teutons here, but man, looked very good, especially with that heavy investment in the scouts. Still being able to have that eco so far ahead. We're going to look at the statistics real quick, especially the food income here. I feel like it's just going to be massively different. And it is, but
Yeah, Verstoort literally had double the farm count. I mean, I guess I'd experimented with builds using poles on this map to try and do something with the full work. I think Teutons might be the best early farming civ, so perhaps I should give them consideration for the next set.
yeah, I mean, GG's. I mean, another quick game here, really, but it was a very entertaining one with a lot of feudal action. I love it. Take a look at the Civ selection available for both players. Do have it up as well as the maps now for you. Berber's gonna get a loss here, and Teutons with the win. Gonna be going to a home map for Dark 2-2 here, which I believe is Lanes next.
There's no way to know without looking at the game file, and I have not done that yet.
Yeah, I'll check it out. But I mean, Lanes or Benbar is where we're going, guys. Those are the civs left. We'll see what happens. Let's dive in.
It is lanes.
Perfect. Guessed correctly. Lanes! We haven't seen Lanes in a while.
I assume you're joking. We see it every day.
I am joking. 100%. I love Monkey Lanes, though. It's a beautiful map. Beautiful map. And again, you know, it's crazy. All of these generations, and we still have yet to see it in the other direction for a while. But I'm at 5 seconds when you're ready.
3, 2, 1, go. And I gotta say, man, I think that it's just so seamless that you're forgetting this actually is the alternate direction. Up until this bracket, the lanes were always the other way.
That's hilarious. Yeah, you're right. This map is so perfect. I don't care which terrain the lanes face.
Indeed, indeed, and you know it's such a subtle difference. It's pretty easy to forget. Much easier to mix up than left and right.
Indeed, but nonetheless, Celts here for Verstoert against Aztecs. Interesting matchup. One I don't know if we've seen for some time, honestly.
Yeah, I can't recall seeing it. I kind of prefer the Aztecs here in infantry mirrors. I guess I just love the Jaguar Warrior. It is true that most games on this map don't go late enough for unique units to play a considerable role, but I don't know. These guys have been pretty evenly matched. I'm sure they're both thinking men-at-arms here. It wouldn't surprise me if this goes late and the Aztecs infantry counters come into play.
Absolutely. And I mean, the Civ matchup, I feel, favors the Celts here. Aztecs takes a long time to build up those eagle numbers, and they're weak against melee, and better to face them than Celts, really.
Yeah, the Eagles are not going to be as good as they would be against a Civ that doesn't bring a strong swords line. But ultimately, man, if you're baiting the Celts into going for hard infantry, you always have that Jaguar Warrior in your back pocket. And the Jaguar Warrior, man, it deals something like 28 bonus damage to infantry. Like,
True.
it's one of the most dominating counters in the game in my experience.
Yeah, I mean, if we get there, that's the question though. If that's a super late game scenario, I mean, they do have a little bit of a better situation getting to Jaguars now that they've been after that big infantry buff we had, where they produce faster, I believe is the case. But nonetheless, we'll see if that is an option here. But Man-at-Arms towers have been very prevalent and popular here, and I wouldn't be too surprised if we see that again.
Yep, I like I said, I assume we're going to see some sort of men-at-arms mirror thing going here. Aztecs should be favored there, but Celts with the faster speed should never be obligated to take a bad fight in the open.
Yeah, and I mean, it's gonna be an interesting one. Like, just watched first two games of this set, and honestly, it was to the point where I feel like Verstoert was ahead in the early game in game one, and just made the wrong decision when he went to boom there, and then switching back to the other game two, he was more foot on the gas and not boom. So I think that has really played effect. I think these guys are laughing about the monkey situation. They were going to go for a fight, forgetting that they were nerfed for this one since that update broke us.
Indeed, yeah. The monkeys were just kind of bouncing off each other like a couple of repellent magnets there. Kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, the good news is that we did get that fixed, and this is the only set that we have that issue for. I need to reach out to Origins, find out if they are scheduled yet. Ian, it was Captain Thomas, because we're going to be a little behind the ball with those games getting delayed in that area, so...
Yep, but no rush as we finish up this bracket, especially as we move to best of sevens with international players. You just some people are going to need to wait till the weekend no matter what, and if they're unable to find a good time over the weekend and they need like 10 days or whatever to schedule, it's understandable and we can afford it.
Absolutely. I mean, lots more to come, though. Best of 5 still remaining after this one. That's between the Origins of Symmetry and... Is it Captain Thomas he faced?
It was Captain Thomas, yeah.
And then the winner of this set moves on to face...
The winner of this set moves on to face an unknown opponent. The other quarterfinal game.
Alright.
Was it played? I'd have to check the bracket.
So would I. I think it was played. I think...
Oh, yeah. Alikog lost to Z's
yeah.
or whatever. Yes.
Perfect. So we have them gonna... The winner of this will face Z. That's gonna be an interesting set as well. But for now, we'll focus with the situation here. We do have both players on the way up, and yes, Militia for both as well. Now, I do not understand this mill for Verstoert. Honestly, his mill for his berries is so close. I don't think that warrants another build, but he will be getting it up nonetheless, and maybe he's going to use it as part of the wall eventually. I do like that he's going out for the hunt. I just feel like it's a little bit of a mistimed situation.
Yeah, I don't hate it. He's Celt and he's floating a lot of wood. Better to have the redundant mill than some extra wood in the bank, perhaps.
Dark also going for the wood line that's most safest to him in the very back here. As we do see Verstoert going to be chopping it towards the outside. Militia for both. Man-at-Arms will be in faster here for Dark. And we'll see if Verstoert stays home or heads for the enemy. And it looks like he is going to turn around and come back.
Yep, that makes sense. You do not want the men-at-arms in your base. Definitely worth sending back for. But at the same time, I did see that Dark was prepping archers. So Dark possibly going to wait for his own archers to join the fight. I don't know, man. Verstoert, he's taking the fight before the upgrade comes in. Plus the Vils are in for Verstoert. It's tough to call this.
Yeah, it's not a bad exchange. I mean, he did not lose a villager, did lose 2 militia, will not be able to take his hunt here either, but better than him getting the upgrade at this point if he's not intending on keeping that trend. He will rush an archery range on the frontier.
I do not like the looks of this at all. Dark's transition to archers was 100% planned, with vills in place, military buildings going up immediate. Verstoert is kind of scrambling here. It looks like another case of home map advantage. Dark going for a fully prepared strat and build, and Verstoert, he looks like he's improvising. And in a close game, the prepared player should beat the improviser.
Yeah, and he's just going to dance with these for now. Archer will be here, and I think that these vills on the hunt will be running. Don't think they're going to stick around. Yeah, one skirmisher does come out. We'll take a nice little exchange here, but Man-at-Arms are gaining ground, and like the vills are actually going to fight too, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, I dig the skirms a lot. If he was going archers, he would have been behind in units. Plus, with men at arms in the mix, he'd be literally just fighting with a strictly inferior army. Now he's bringing the counter unit. The men at arms are dwindled. The vills took care of them. Verstoert looks like he's adequately defended this.
Yeah, and he went armor first, which is interesting, but it paid off.
Yeah, I actually have looked up some stuff, and I've seen that for feudal age range battles, if you're going for mainly skirms, it's generally advised to get the armor first. I'm still a fletching boy myself, but I'm no longer going to criticize that decision.
I mean, I think it was the right move here as we see an Eagle Scout being added. Only one thus far, but could play a role here against the skirms. Ecos are relatively even, but a little bit more idle TC time for Verstoert, and he is housed right now. So, get that down. Does rush down on the wood line.
Yeah, and Dark is not letting up at all on this feudal pressure. I thought for a second there that Dark was kind of cleaned up and he would abandon the attack, but kind of surprisingly, he's continuing to push forward with a smaller army here, letting Verstoert gain a bit of a military lead.
Yeah, in the micro, it's just been a little bit better for Verstoert with these skirmishers and that armor. It really helped him out here. The KD is 9 to 5 for him here. He's only like a Vil or a half a Vil behind at the moment, which is not bad. Does have better upgrades. I mean, even has both of his eco upgrades. And now Man-at-Arms. Oh, interesting choice.
Incredibly interesting choice.
I don't know if I agree with this, to be honest, because I think he should have gotten it earlier if he was going to get it.
With the introduction of Eagles, you can't keep going skirms. I guess he's thinking, does he want to mix in some archers with the skirms or go for the swords? Probably figures he's going to be fighting Eagles all game. It will be good to be teching the swords anyways. It makes sense.
No, it does, for sure. It's definitely a nice timing, though. He didn't even see the Eagles, I don't think. It was already researching. So, some nice moves here, though. We'll get some damage in for free there. Man-at-Arms are going to be headed forward. And it is skirmishers with only 2 archers here. So,
yeah, interesting fight. Both sides have the counter units in. Both sides take some considerable losses, and then they disengage.
yeah, very interesting. I mean, this is a really close position. Let's look at the res. It's pretty close. Food is going to be up for both armies. So this should be a pretty extended feudal age, more so than we normally see on this map.
Indeed. And ultimately, I think Dark is getting the better of it by bringing the fight to the opponent's base. He's, forcing idle time, forcing Verstoert to place things in places that he might not otherwise want to. I see Verstoert's accrued more TC idle time. Overall, relatively even, but I gotta just prefer the aggressor's position here, as Dark just doesn't show any signs of giving up the frontier.
Yeah, and there comes the archer armor for Dark and some crazy market abuse, and he's going to be a lot closer to getting up here. And we're going to get +1 armor on the Man-at-Arms here for Verstoert.
Yeah, a drastically earlier click for Dark. It is unclear what he'd go for here. I suppose Eagles is the traditional play, but he's also continuing to queue archers. I mean, either crossbow or eagle would kind of shred a feudal age opponent, and if he's up like 2 minutes in advance, that's kind of all you need to shred enough to take the game.
Yep, taking a decent exchange here, though. Will kill some more army here. Verstoert did just get his market up just now, so I think he'll buy the rest of the food he needs, and he'll be up at a relatively competitive time, about a minute underneath. Yep, there he's buying the food. Click up is in, and honestly, this is a bad fight for Dark here. Losing
Yeah,
everything.
players seem to do this so often. They get a really nice Castle Age click up, then they throw their army and they arrive at Castle Age with nothing. Dark, I guess he plans to go one range crossbow as his Castle Age push, but with no Eagles left alive and no skirms in the mix, that feels like a really weak Castle Age army.
We'll see, though. There are two ranges now, and he is going on to another mining camp on the same gold. Losing archers again. He's making a mistake with that for sure. Eagles are going to continue to be added to, it looks like. I mean, he may just go all in here in Castle
Yeah,
Age.
this is just so wasteful, man. He should have retreated his army on the way up. Like, I think he had 3 Eagles and way more than 3 archers at the moment he clicked up. And
Yeah.
yep, he goes for crossbow now. It'll be an okay timing attack, but nowhere near as potent as it would have been if he still had his full large army that we saw him with just a minute ago.
Yeah, and the military numbers are in favor of V still. If Elite Skirm comes in and he continues with the militia line, it could be very difficult for Dark to push this.
Yes, I would agree. Skirm Swordsman kind of counters exactly what he's bringing.
Will be
Dark
another
does,
range for V as well.
yeah, I am not seeing Dark being able to do too much damage here.
Deleted it in favor of Elite Skirm. I like that move. He needs to save the Vil, which he does not do. That Vil must have been weak because there was not enough archers to one-shot them. But yeah, Skirms are out front here. The Eagles don't have any additional upgrades on them, but the men-at-arms will be much easier to snipe with these crossbows.
Yeah, crossbows do shred the swords line. If Verstoert is unable to land skirmisher shots on the crossbows, the fights aren't going to go his way. And without the swords buffer there, the Eagles are just having their way with the skirms.
Yep, Skirm Mass, though, is still up in a plenty, and it looks like he'll clean this up.
Yep, ultimately there were just so few Eagles. I guess they went down into like a single man at arms there.
Oh, the Vils ended up helping with the fight a slight bit. V has an insane economy, man. Look at all this gold. His food eco is great behind this. Needs to get another building. Oh, he went double barracks, actually. Needs to get his production up, and oh, a switch to Cav, potentially.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah, it counters what Dark is bringing. Dark does not want to tech into pikemen, and in the absence of pikemen, knights are just the strongest unit in Castle Age.
Yeah, but now these skirms are definitely caught out, missing that last armor upgrade with Eagles and no defense here. The production really needs to come here for V to hold his base. Held Cav will be fine here, honestly. It's against Eagles, man. Like Jabari said, he's gonna have to tech into pikemen, which honestly, not really what you want to do whenever you have man-at-arms upgrades already as well.
While the knights are in low numbers, monks would actually be the best counter, and
Yes.
Aztecs, of course, have fabulous monks.
One town center added behind this. One knight did get in, causing all the crossbows to go back. And the Eagles will be forward. There is going to be a knight here that should be able to do something. There's another knight coming as well. But a lot of the skirmishers, if not all of them, will go down here. Chain barding armor coming in already for these knights. So they will be a lot better upgraded than these Eagle scouts. Not Eagle Warriors yet.
Yeah, we've seen this before in the tournament. They really need a unique graphic to distinguish the Eagle Scout from the Eagle Warrior. In cases like this, I feel like Dark very probably doesn't realize that he's fighting with Feudal Age Eagles.
And this one knight is still alive, just dancing around, keeping the archers at home for Dark. This is a great move. And honestly, the knights with skirms, I like it. I like it a lot. Ballistics
Yep.
being added now, which is going to be very good, but knight numbers are growing, and if skirms continue to be produced as well, won't be too difficult to deal with this. Verstoert just floating so old. My god.
Yeah, I believe he was doing this in a previous game as well. A little bit too shy to use the market in cases like this. Like, you could literally buy a second TC and run it for a while with all this gold. It's worth the market conversion fees to get that going.
For sure. Siege Workshop going to come up. The crossbow numbers are here. They do have good upgrades, but again, no Eagle Warrior upgrade. If the Knights are continued to mass out of these two stables, I think it could be devastating, and it looks like he might even try to swoop in for an attack on the side, potentially. And a
Yep, but
Mangonel.
Dark did get the right idea and add monks. Honestly, monks counter even medium numbers of knights so hard. A couple monks in the mix would probably scare the knights off. This Aztec army, with the addition of monks, is actually looking a little untouchable.
Yeah, but now it looks like the monk is out. He will get a conversion on the knight. The Mangonel hops out and oh, what a shot.
Yeah, it's possible the Mangonel delete there really increased its damage as Verstoert. He's cleaning up here. Picks the monk, gets a huge shot, and just like that, the army I was saying is unapproachable just a minute ago is gone.
Yeah, and even with the two conversions, I mean, wow. What a delete moment there. One of the best we've seen. And now the pressure's really on because we only have Eagle Scouts being produced. Monks, with the addition, though, could be a major factor here. Have to wait and see what happens. And this is two TCs on both sides. I mean, what a set. This is just so close.
For sure. Yeah. I'm glad to see Verstoort taking the advantage here. He probably does have the tougher Civ. He's going for a unit that is outside of the Civ specialty, and he's making it work.
Yep. Mangonel is going to be in a little bit of danger, but again, Eagle Scouts, not Eagle Warriors. The Mangonel could actually snipe monks. I don't think these monks have any additional upgrades. Nope, still 30 HP, which I believe is the standard for a monk, correct?
Yes.
Conversions could be big as they both come in here. Two nice conversions here. That's going to be the most difficult thing for Verstoert to keep dealing with, as the monks are finally coming out in mass. Would love to see some upgrades on those.
Yeah, monks are just so overpowered, man. Like, getting two conversions, I mean, it kills two knights, it gains you two knights. Like, just like that, you're up 4 knights in army value. It honestly feels pretty broken when monks convert high value units.
Yep, pikemen are out and about on the field here, but there are skirmishers. Only a few. Needs to see a few more of those queued behind this. The economy is almost exactly the same. Nice addition of a monastery, and the Celt monks are going to be out as well, so at least going to try to convert back some of these. I'm really loving how this is being played out here.
Indeed, but this pike army, this is a bad engagement for these weak knights.
He needs to
Maybe,
run.
yeah, I mean, small numbers of skirms are barely going to dent these pikes. The pikes, I mean, they're trading pretty straight up for the knights. Verstoort is kind of finding himself armyless all of a sudden.
Yeah, some big Mangonel shots, though, there helped him out a lot, and he is going to have that going for him, but really needs to get his military cues going here.
Yeah, the more I think about it, man, this is such a rough Civ matchup for Celts. Aztecs kind of do have the answer to everything, especially when you take into consideration the possibility of Jaguar Warrior. I don't know if Celts have any comp that isn't hard countered by something the Aztecs like to make.
I think it's just straight siege. That's his best shot, honestly, if it gets to that point. Scorpion, Mangonel, Pura Celtica. Like that's where you're going if you're talking about really late game. I mean,
He needs,
he's
yeah, I guess he needs some unit to accompany it.
yeah, he's in a great position still. I mean, he is taking a lot of losses now that those monks were added, and finally Eagle Warrior gets clicked.
Yeah, you
And
say he's in a great position, man, but Eagle Warriors with full armor in your unwalled base, they're like possibly the finest Castle Age raiding unit.
true.
I think Verstoort's going to start to bleed here, I feel.
Yeah, then the economy behind it, you just see all the production coming forward. Look at the barracks numbers here. Well played indeed. 7 barracks production. Knight's not feeling so hot now, but honestly, if he shifts into longswords, if he thinks about it, it would counter most of the military being made minus the crossbows here.
Yeah, but even long swords, you know, they're only viable until the Jags come out, and even so, man, the Eagles can spread out across the base and just raid so hard. Like, if an Aztec or any Mezzo opponent is intent on raiding you and you're unwalled, they're gonna be able to like continuously idle your eco by just, you know, sprinkling a few Eagles throughout.
Yeah, they're gonna have a castle coming up here in defense on that open side here. More upgrades. Arson and Iron Casting coming in for Dark. Dark does have the better economy behind this as well, as it's not only villager count but upgrades as well. Yeah, this is looking worse and worse here.
Yeah, I mean, in the absence of the Civ matchup, Verstoort might be in a holdable position, but he definitely doesn't want to go for heavy cavalry long term. Definitely doesn't want to go for skirm long term. I mean, he's a little bit behind and just doesn't have a comp that he's building into. It's difficult to see how he'll win this.
Yeah, it's definitely looking worse and worse as the military production behind this is 139 popped to 107. 42 military or 45 military to 14 here. It's another close game, but yeah, like you said, maybe this Civ advantage for the Aztecs really paying off, especially now that all these upgrades have finally come in. Eagle Warrior, Pikemen, monks in mass here too. We have 10 or so Aztec monks here, it looks like.
Yeah, if he micros these monks well, I mean, the knights are literally a liability, not an asset.
And Dark is preparing for the Imperial Age. It looks like V is doing the same, but with a lot less military, it'll be a lot more difficult to hold.
Yep, but he is not giving up easily. He's so reluctant to go into the swords line. I wonder what Verstoort's plan is here. As he goes for arson, I guess he's gonna go for Woad Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only thing I can figure. His one barracks is getting rammed down right now, and there will be a massive army coming through here to the exposed economy. There is a town center, well, 2 town centers over here with a lot of the eco, and Imperial Age feels like it's not going to do him a whole lot at this point.
I mean, just if you compare the production, Dark is fielding like 4 to 5 times as many units. A lot of them are quasi counter units. Verstoort's about to start getting raided.
Yep.
He's not going to go down while he has this healthy population, but Dark is about to, I think, end this game.
Yeah, I really think the addition of Siege, which is finally coming here, with it's going to be Siege Woad Raider. The Woad Raiders do only have +1 though. That hurts to see.
Yeah, their numbers are just going to be so pitiful as well.
I mean, they do counter a lot of the military, but there are crossbows here that will take them out relatively quickly. And the monks behind this now up to 11, and they're up to 50 HP. Oh, the mangonel shots!
Not the best shots in the end.
No, but it looked dangerous. If he wouldn't have been paying attention, I think he would have lost a major number of them, honestly. So it
Yeah,
will
but
be Load Raider choice.
yeah, one castle woads feels bad, man, when the enemy already has 60 military and their unique unit counters infantry. Verstoort's just dying here.
Yeah, and I mean, another interesting game, but how does he come back from this? Another Mangonel pops out, gets a decent shot off, but there's so many crossbows here, and the monks can just sit here and heal behind this. Loads, a few skirms. The military production is just not here for Verstoert.
Yeah, I mean, just in terms of production buildings, he's down like 6 or 7 to 1, with almost no standing army. Though he's Dark is begging for a
Oh
Mangonel
my
shot of the year
god!
here. Yeah,
The
ouch,
monks!
man.
The monks! So much gold just got wiped off the map. Honestly, that was a much better exchange than it ever should have been. Massive, really. I mean, he's gonna be in trouble as the banana is being slung by the trebuchet, and one is on a hill, one is not here. Monk's going down again over here as well. But yeah, I think he's actually targeting the treb. He's gonna try to take the treb out to keep this up, and he's adding another stable. Stable's just not the answer here.
You
Restore.
know, Verstoort has the score lead. Those giant Mangonel shots might have given him the breathing room he needs to build up a competitive army. I mean, I keep on talking about Jaguar Warriors as if they're inevitable, but they're actually like such a rarely seen unit. Woad Raider Knight, in the absence of Jags, is actually quite great.
Yeah, this castle, though, I think it's going to go down. No Trebuchet number 2 on its way. And if he can take this out and keep his castle up, this would be huge, honestly.
Indeed. I don't know if he will, though. The hill difference is really brutal here. I don't know why Dark hasn't added a second trap, though.
I think he's lost so much there. He had to repop his military and just spent his gold. As it's 3 trebs now. Okay, this treb might go down. This castle could go down here.
Yeah, you know what? I was calling it, but Verstoort appears to have stabilized here.
That keeps the castle up. What a hold. He did lose a lot of vills.
Dark's Vil count is not the prettiest, though, either. Verstoort still at a disadvantaged position with a Civ disadvantage, but if he can take down this castle, it's probably a winnable position still.
And he does have Lightcav trying to do some raiding. If he sends Lightcav in on this gold, there are a lot of vills here that could go down. Eichmann near in tow, though.
Yeah, I mean, cavalry, though, is Celts. I don't know, it's hard to see that being a long-term winning move.
Woads are on the scene. There are a few knights. There's some Lightcav. All of this idle eco here now. This is a big TC play here now, as it's 5 TCs for Dark.
Yeah,
but my goodness, he has to run.
Yeah, Verstoort actually has a huge score lead now. I'm sure, like, he feels like he's winning this, and Dark, on the other hand, possibly feels like he's losing it. Dark way overextending, having so much outside his walls, getting his castle treb down.
Dark doesn't have any gold. He is out of gold. He has not chopped through. He's almost there. He needs to chop through to get gold, so he's out of gold right now. That's why he's only making pikemen at the moment. And the Light Cav and the Woad Raiders are gonna do a lot of damage here.
Yeah, what an insane hold. I did not realize how tapped out Dark was. I was saying he could afford to lose that giant army, but I guess it was actually irreplaceable. Like, the Monks and Eagles are just such gold-intensive units.
And 0 on gold. Unfortunately, the Trebs are very exposed here and going to take damage, but this is a lot of vills that could die here if the Trebs do go down. It's not the end of the world, as B did chop out early, and a lot of vills are going down.
Yeah,
military numbers, too.
Yeah, I feel like this is the first lanes game I've ever seen where a player has exhausted their gold without chopping out.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting position as a lot of vills are exposed, and Dark suddenly looks to be in a really bad position with his economy as it continues to fall.
Yeah, I mean, without the ability to add gold units, uh, he's gonna be making a much weaker army, and the siege is coming in. Verstoert with a considerable Vil lead now, a military advantage, crucially a gold versus no gold advantage. Verstoert has this, man.
Yeah, and the numbers are getting worse and worse for Dark here. And I'm in shock he was able to hold, and a few big mangonel shots really seem to have turned the tide, as well as the map play for Verstoort chopping out early. He's actually going to castle the gold on this side, it looks like. Oh, he's going to play it more defensively. I'll put it forward. There you go. Cancel
Oh,
that gold.
yeah, what an excellent castle. That gold was going to be Dark's lifeline. Unfortunately for Dark, it looks like he's lost so many vills that even if he regains gold access at this time, I think he's toast, man.
Yeah, he's lost so much in the way of economy. Woad Raiders are out as well, and the only thing being made right now is pikemen as the archery ranges are being slammed. But I don't think it's going to change anything. This gold will no longer be available. Now, he is chopped through on the other side now, but he has to walk quite a ways to get to the gold, and will he have time to even get numbers up as the Trebs will move forward? The Woad Raiders are here. I think
Yeah,
Verstoort has pulled off an insane hold here, and I think he's taking this game.
for sure, man. Dark has basically no population, and Verstoort, I mean, he's shown that he's resilient. If he was able to keep a high population and a strong army through that entire push, there's no way that he's going to let off the gas now. As, yep,
What is happening? GG Verstoort. I don't know how he held this position. Just too many mistakes from Dark, I guess. Losing right here, the mass of crossbows, the mass of 11 monks, and such a good position. He just never chopped out. He never chopped out of the lane to get the gold. He finally started to when he was completely dry and taking his opponent's gold on the front.
yeah, I mean, I guess it goes to show that even if you don't have a specific plan for how to win the game, if you just hang in there long enough and you try to take the big shots and the good fights, things can turn around. I'm sure Verstoort is unaware of the fact that Dark ran out of gold and that was crucial in his fall. But I guess Dark was just feeling so confident, didn't seem too troubled by his lack of gold, had his army just dancing in front of those siege workshops. And Verstoort seized on his opponent's mistakes very nicely here, man. Crazy comeback.
I'm just blown away. This has been an insane game. I can't believe this is what we just witnessed, honestly. Like, holy crap. And you can see the KD difference is just massive here. I mean, towards the end, losing all those vills and pikemen against Woads is never going to work. Look at the gold economy. He actually had more gold, but his units were so gold intensive, as well as all the monks and the monk techs, just unable to do anything with it there. Hitch with the gift sub, 13 gifted in total. Do appreciate it, sir. Whew. What a game.
Indeed. I'm sure Dark is shaking in his head after that one. That can't feel good, man.
That's an understatement right there. Verstoort takes the game, and I mean, we're gonna go back to the map and Civ set here. This was a home map for Dark Tutu, man. He should have known the position he was in. I feel like chopping out should have been a priority, making that your home map. But
Yeah. I mean,
wow,
honestly, I would have called GG as the Celts player there. Maybe not. Maybe I'm, just imagining a little bit. But perhaps Tutu was thinking the same, thinking it's essentially one and just relaxing a bit, letting himself run out of gold, think it's not a big deal, letting himself leave his army vulnerable. He's ahead by so much he can afford to lose it. And then just all of a sudden, man, it was pushed right back at him.
Yeah, absolutely. Insane, insane game. I'm just wow. Dark Tutu has Bunbera left with Italians, Mayans, and Malians remaining. Verstoert has Franks, Khmer, and Saracens on this map. We'll see what happens, guys. We're gonna dive into it. I mean, I could sit here and dwell on this for a very long time, but let's be honest, we have to see the rest of the set.
Indeed, and Banbera and Banana as the remaining maps. I'm pretty pumped to see the conclusion of this one.
If he comes back, if Dark wins this game, we go to Banana for a decider.
That's gonna be tense, man.
Oh my god. Can we please have Juicy sitting and a dwelling stream? Yes, we can. I will stroke my beard majestically. Alright, I'm at 5 seconds. And I'm ready when you are.
Count it down.
3, 2, 1, go. Italians for Dark as he's got to win or he goes home here. This is his home map prepared. Bunbara. Verstoert with a hell of a game before this one, and he will be with the Saracens here. Interesting civs, but I think Italians probably a little bit more favored, maybe? I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I'd say 100%, man. Italians, they're so strong for the cheap fishing ships. They have like incredibly strong naval play, and this is actually quite the hybrid map when you get down to it. This is also like an arena-like map where a lot of the faster advance times and just unit choices Italians have are nice. And Saracens, man, honestly, all I really see them having here is that market bonus, which can be very potent, but doesn't tend to decide games by itself.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's insane. I mean, it's going to be interesting for sure. Hitch saying I don't have emotes. There are the emotes that we have, Hitch. We have to hit a few more subs to actually get the next emote slot. But, yeah, Italians feel better. But the one thing that Saracens could have going for them here, which I could really enjoy seeing, is some serious market abuse.
Yeah, I mean, the other bonus that I'm sure we won't see come into play is the Saracens' increased transport ship capacity. If Saracens win water here, they like could go for some incredibly cute transport play into the opponent's walls. But honestly, that's just for the lols. I don't know if that's especially advisable.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible he could transport in. It could be a surprise attack. We will have to wait and see. But Dark going to have the better fishing ships, better, cheaper dock techs if that comes into play, which we have seen a lot of people pay a lot of attention to this perch, and with good reason. There's 30k fish there to take, so not too surprising. And V is going to push in the huntables here. I do like this play. He did use a sheep to hold that open and did pull it back just in case it comes forward. And, you know, Verstoert headed out, and the monkey for Dark may have seen it, but just passing as they're both in the middle right now looking to place docks.
Yep, this is going to be a water fight. It's kind of funny how this plays out as like a water fight with the docks touching so often, as Verstoert very intelligently pre-walling his Vel. Yeah, Dark was actually going for the attack on it there. So incredibly important that Verstoert actually blocked that.
Yep, and Boar Lord in for both of them. It will be a dock for both, so this is not like a free win here. Both players probably going to get up to, I'd say, 3 fishing ships. Makes sense here for both of them, but very quickly could turn depending on who's up the fastest. And Italians do get that bonus per age, but 425 food to click up instead of 500 will be a big bonus there.
Yeah, and on a map like this where the water rush distance is like 5 tiles, the faster player up, I mean, they can completely demolish the opponent's fishing ships in like 20 seconds.
Yeah, and Italians have a better fishing ship as a whole. So, 3 fish and chips on both sides. Italians still favored there, I feel.
For sure. I mean, they get the cheaper fishing ships, so it costs them less. They get the faster up. Once they do win water, they get cheaper tech, so they can make better use of it. Italians have too many bonuses on water. I think they're actually a grossly overpowered water civ.
I mean, it is their identity. I think they could potentially see some potential nerf down the road of some sort, but I think they've already nerfed it to like 33%. It used to be 50% off dock techs. So,
Indeed, yeah.
if anything, maybe dropping it to like 25% would be suitable.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, the fact that like Portuguese counter them in late game makes the devs feel like Italians are acceptable in their current state. Water, I guess, is a minority of the maps, so they don't really care too much about balancing it.
Yep, and gonna be about a minute behind here, 50 seconds, 40 seconds behind, it looks like, to the next stage. Nonetheless, on to gold, so this should be a fight for water. Very, very little on food. Actually leaving a boar with a decent amount of food and only 2 vills on it. So we'll see what happens. Hitch, I don't know if they would give him anything, to be honest. I mean, I don't think they should make a change. Because, like you said, there's water on so little island, or so little maps, that Italians are kind of nerfed in that way. They're not really seen and used in many other situations. Unless it's a hybrid map.
Yeah, and Dark with 2 docks. I think he's going to be able to decisively win water and parlay that food advantage he gets into a win here.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to see Verstoert go onto a mill and onto gold, so he's not going to commit too heavily here. Honestly, I don't dislike it.
He needs the mill in order to build a market, so I wouldn't read too much into that.
Well, that's what I'm suggesting, though. I think this is going to be more market abuse than it's going to actually be water play at this point.
Yep.
Which I am down for. I love the Saracen market. I love when players go for it, and I look forward to seeing, as we see a forward attack of buildings here, Saracen archers going to melt through these palisade walls like it's paper mache.
Yep, I love it. It's incredibly tricky. Dark has committed quite a lot to winning water. He went 2 docks. He's queued up a total of 5 fire galleys. An incredible overcommitment. There's just no way that he's going to be able to afford defense. I don't believe he's scouted this. And this map is so unusual that you just don't tend to have the best idea what your opponent's going for. Like, he could totally misread this as a fast castle easily. The fact that Verstoert is not going for water by no means implies that he's going for land.
He doesn't see this at all yet. This house completes, or this mill, and house, it's still nothing. So this is still hidden by like 1 tile here. This is huge, and there's a blacksmith right away as well. All these fire galleys are gonna do nothing but kill a dock. The tower is still here, so the tower delays. And oh no. Oh no! Dark is very heavily committed underwater here. Oh, he's...
Yep. Without being able to take the deep fish, this is 1000% not worth it. The fires aren't even damaging the tower very much because the dock is tanking it, as the archers are shown.
Even if the dock goes down, I think Dark is dead here. He's gonna get an archery, he's gotta get an archery range up yet. The barracks is on its way up. A forced tower here. Oh, beautiful.
I mean, Dark, actually, he still has water. If he's able to just fish, I think that he actually has an eco advantage. In the end, Italians are probably the much stronger civ here. This is a very nice move and a nice position that Verstoort's putting himself in, but I don't hate Dark's position still. But he does need to get on that fish, man. He needs to see some fruits from all of his water investment.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, I think these archers could still do a lot of damage. I mean, obviously he'd have to walk around. It's risky, but behind this, food eco being added. I mean, the economy is slightly better for Dark because of the fishing chips, but I don't know. That's such a huge investment onto water right now. We'll see if it does any good. Are these archers going to get in? The tower doesn't range them.
Yeah, the tower. I mean, it stopped the push on the gate, so I guess it was absolutely necessary. But again, I gotta say, players should just be stonewalling this, especially against Saracens. The Palisade Wall is just not a permanent holder of any sort.
The fish, he's one water, and the fish are not working because of this tower still being up. And Verstoert's repairing this tower. He is trying to keep it up as long as possible here.
Yeah, I mean, if I guess towers here can work. I feel like it might have been possible for Dark to come out with some vills and rush that tower down between the galleys and like a few vills. He probably could have cleared up water sooner, but he's getting it clear now. He's going to get his fish back to work. He's going to be able to add more fish. In the end, Verstoert has not damaged the opponent much at all.
Yeah, I mean, he's kept his opponent off of fish, so all this water investment has really just taken a few eco units out of the game. But ultimately, the archers are going to make the long loop all the way around, and there's nothing stopping him from getting in here. Skirmishers are going to be out, though. They do have fletching.
Yeah, and this feudal push has kind of failed. I think Dark's move here might just be, I mean, for either player, would just be to try to get to Castle Age as soon as possible. This is an arena-like map, and things like Mangonels just do such tremendous work here.
Yeah.
Like these feudal units are looking pretty weak.
I think we're going to see a market very soon. Our Saracen player here.
Yeah, I mean, it only costs 75 wood for the Saracens, so I personally would have slammed it a long time ago, as it comes down now.
Yep, comes down. He's almost going to be able to... he'll be able to buy everything. He's got almost 1,000. A market coming down for Dark, though. So Dark is going to try to do something here. But the 7 Saracen archers are at this gate. And if they try to get through and it goes unnoticed for too long, it could be problematic. As the skirmishers do get in here. But ultimately, I don't think they're going to do any damage. The archers are not at home. This gate is under heavy pressure. Oh, and Dark just bought res. And he does have Castle Age queued. There it is. No reaction, though. And now he is going to be idling a lot of vills.
Yep, this is huge for Verstoert, man. He's taking his opponent off gold on the way to Castle Age. Dark is not going to be able to afford too much when he gets to the next age. His skirms are way out of position to defend these archers. These feudal archers are doing a ton of damage for Verstoert.
And Verstoert just needs to balance the eco and go up here. Oh, he's going to dive the wood line.
Yep.
I don't know if I agree with that. I would have kept him off gold. That is a lot of... He's been very aggressive, though, and he has been rewarded for diving, so yeah, I get it, but oof.
He knows the opponent has skirms. You know, he's going for value however he could. He didn't know how that was going to play out. As he did the dive, I was kind of thinking he might get like 4 vills or something, so I won't criticize the decision.
Yeah, I mean, it's still fine. He's going to be up to the Castle Age, not too far behind. And Saracen Camels, if that is the play, isn't a bad play. Saracen Archer's not a bad play either. Vise would benefit Italians at that point, but need a castle to get that. But it looks like Dark is going into a Cav play. I don't know how I feel about it at the moment.
It's not the worst. Against archers and skirms, it's obviously excellent. But yeah, not Italian's forte. It kind of plays into the Saracen Camels. It's a questionable move for sure.
I mean, Saracens, they are literally named a camel civ, are they not?
I think so, yeah. I mean, their unique unit is a camel. They have camel bonuses plus a full tech tree. They must be.
Oh, we could see some Mamelukes this game if he goes Cavalier. Could be possible.
I mean, castles will probably drop, and a few unique units will probably be queued, but seeing mass fully upgraded Mamelukes would definitely be unexpected.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. We'll see. Scouts are forward here. We'll see that the knights are the choice, and he will be
Verstoert,
aware.
man. Verstoert. Is he sending out a Vil train? I think.
I don't see Vils anywhere.
Yeah, okay, I was mistaken. He was just moving to a different mineral resource. I thought he was gonna like do some crazy market abuse for a castle drop, but I was totally wrong.
He could. He has 1,700 wood. Or 1,600 wood. We'll see, though. I
Yeah,
think it's camel play. Oh, no, it's knights, actually. Interesting.
yeah. I mean, knights are better versus just about everything, with the exception of what Dark's bringing. So until the knights are seen in numbers, I can't blame him for opening with his own knights instead of camels.
Yeah. So we'll see what this pays off here. The skirms are very out of place, and there are not the knight numbers, though. Here comes the knights. So it'll be a good start to this fight for Verstoert here, and I think he just... Yeah, he's just going to run him back.
Yeah, and it took him a while to get to it, but Dark has leveraged his water control into a pretty considerable eco lead with all these fishing ships.
Yeah, for sure. Camels being added now, so I do like that. Mixing those in there. Needs to get his second defensive upgrade would be nice. And a nice little snipe on the galley there. Never too bad. A lot of military on water here, which distorts the totals as Dark has 20. 22, but there's only 17, and it's all on land for Verstoert, as this fight is awkward with ships participating as well, but I think Verstoert taking the better exchange here.
Yep, but I'm sure Dark doesn't care about his fires at all and is actually happy for them to be able to participate in the fight.
Of course, I mean, get the value out of it for sure, but Verstoert's doing a good job here. Later up to Castle Age and has military numbers. Not quite as good of upgrades, but...
Yeah, he's doing all right. It reminds me a little bit of last game, though, with the civs. I'm pretty sure that if this becomes an Imperial play, Italians, especially if they're able to get the Genbo out, should be vastly superior.
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky, though, because Genbo does counter the cavalry, but then Arbalest is just as good of a counter to the Genbo, and I feel like it's a rough transition. Depends on where we end up with that position. We do see Verstoert back on water, making fire galleys.
I like it, man. He's probably just trying to snipe fish and not actually win water. But still, if you can snipe the fish, I mean, it basically denies Dark's entire advantage gain there.
Yeah, we'll see if he saves this up before he taking the fight or what. The camels continuing to run across here is never really the good play, so he's going to lose a lot of HP, and he's actually fighting fire ships right now with camels.
I think they deal bonus damage, actually, but yeah, you should just not take any fights with these ships in them. These fires, you know, they're lucky to get whatever value they can, and Verstoort's making it pretty easy for them to get it.
Yeah, both players on stone very heavily. We'll tell you that now. 13 for Verstoert, 11 for Dark, as water is about to be lost for Dark. There's only one galley here, and these fishing ships will be taken out. One Scorpion out here, too, trying to deny this town center.
Yep, at this phase of the game, though, water really isn't too important. I mean, the ability to fish is unique up until Castle Age in giving you a means of producing eco units for more than one building. Now that the players are multi-TC, it doesn't really hurt too bad to lose those fish.
True. Not the biggest deal at the moment. Military numbers and military upgrades are the big deal that we should be paying attention to, and Dark does have the better of that situation, for sure. And monks on the field. Again, monks have proven to do him very good work this game, or this set.
Yeah, but the numbers here favored Verstoort so heavily, I think the fight's turning out to be much closer than I thought.
And this is a very forward castle that might not have good time. Okay, there are more knights coming. Where's the army for Dark? He just stopped producing, didn't he? Oh, no. A counter castle. Castle v castle. Will both of them go up? I believe they will.
They probably should. It looks like Darks will be unable to range the Vills on the far side, so Verstoert should have some Vills that are still hitting this castle safely. But pretty ugly, man, for Verstoert. This is not how you want your forward castle to go up.
True. Very true. Behind this, Verstoert is slightly behind in economy, but it won't be that terrible for him. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. I really like the positioning, though, for Verstoert. He's kind of shoving his opponent back into this small corner, where, again, gold is going to be very limited. And it is rangeable from this castle. Not all of it, but some of it. And yeah, here's the answer. Dark going to go out now. He's not going to run out of gold this game.
Yeah, this situation with the castle so close, though. I mean, I feel like whether or not this castle stands for Verstoert is what determines the game. I mean, this forward castle, if he's able to get to Imp first, it gives him like such an easy launching point to take out Dark's entire base. But at the same time, Dark with Italians could so reasonably get up to Castle Age first and push it back.
Absolutely.
I don't know, man. I I think that the castle drop was actually a little bit of a failure.
Yeah, and I mean, it keeps his opponent at home. I like that. He's pushed him off water, killed some eco there. I like that. Thank you for the follow. Do appreciate it, guys. C-Dog 2010. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I like the advance behind this, though. The town centers are forward. They are on gold. Saracens using the market to abuse it here is always a wonderful thing to see. And, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Old but deadly. Appreciate the follow as well.
Nice name, Old but Deadly.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some real fun ones here lately. A lot of fun.
Yeah,
This
and
set,
Dark,
man. Wow.
indeed, it's been a really good set. But Dark seems like he's not letting loose at all here, man. Yeah, he's getting the Imp click first. Ooh, he's clicking up with a somewhat considerable eco advantage, with probably a better civ, and in a position where he's just going to be able to trap back this castle so safely. Verstoert, man. I don't know how he's going to be able to answer Genbo once his castle goes down.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't know. I don't really know if I think Imp's gonna do much for him, though. He will push that castle back, sure. Genbo will be in, yes, but the Saracen market abuse, I think, gonna be somewhat close up. Although food was just spent at a rapid pace there, so maybe not so much.
Probably,
Crossbows.
man. But I'm gonna say, as an arena player, pushing back that castle is worth an Imperial Age. I think whoever's castle here goes down first literally will determine the game. So seeing Dark get up sooner, I think, is such a good omen for him.
Yeah, this could be a nice time to attack and harass one side of the map that is open. And we do have a mangonel and crossbows on this gold here, so Dark is potentially going to lose Vills and access to gold pretty soon.
Yep, he does have a pretty safe gold, though, still within his walls. But this is some really good damage for just like a couple crossbows and a mango.
8 mangonel villager kills already. And even more on their way. Camels, looks like they're pressuring a little bit, not doing a whole lot. Actually, Dark, look at this. This is what he's feeling right now. He's going to try to use the fishing chips for what they're worth. Not going to last too long, though. As the gold is heading to be a concern still for me. Oh no, it just doesn't feel great. Crossbows being added makes me think that we're going to see the ARB click before we see any more camel investment, which I think is the right choice. And with this map positioning, what gold position does he have left? He's going to have 3 tiles in his base. I guess he'll have about 2,400 gold. That
I
mangonel does
think
go down. That hurts.
Yeah, I think that once he pushes back this castle, he can shift his priority and clear up that other gold. Um, Dark's gold income situation is not that dire at all, especially when he has enough stone in the bank for another TC. Yeah,
Gonna
Dark
need
is at
that TC. He is behind in the villager count by a substantial margin now. 94 vills to 84, and mangonel and crossbows are continuing to pressure this side, which I do like to see. A lot of vills have gone down on this gold here, and even more will fall.
indeed, as Dark appears to be going for a pure Genbo comp from just one castle. I do wonder if this is correct, man. Against Arbalest, one castle Genbo just doesn't cut the cheese.
I mean, the range alone will be better for the Arbalests, and one production building, potentially another castle going to be coming forward at some point, but
Yeah.
villager numbers and soon to be a better military unit with Arbalests, I think, will be difficult for Dark to hold off here.
Yep, but Bombard Cannon into the mix could make all the difference. Yeah, this is such a small map. This castle crawl is going to be very powerful as well. This castle is going to take out this other TC, secure him another gold. If he's going for Genbo, having a second castle for production is huge.
Bombard cannon. Like it might just get away, just barely with 12 HP. We do have Previce coming in, so that will be beneficial. I like what we're seeing from Verstoert here, though. He's backing up, he's taking a lot of res from this side, and he doesn't want to risk losing his numbers as far as that's concerned. Cannot
Indeed.
disagree with that.
Yep, and Verstoort's continuing to queue Vills. He appears to be making the correct army choice. Verstoert has lost momentum as the line gets pushed back here, but he is keeping himself for sure in a winning position. Yeah, it's an incredibly close game. It could genuinely go either way still.
Yeah, again, man, what a game 4. And again, Dark, fighting for his tournament life here, has to pull out a W here to force the other game. Oh no! An idle TC! He's garrisoned, he has no gold income here, he's only got 2 on gold at home, 3 now. That could hurt, as with Arbalest going to be coming in soon. Arb numbers as well. Yeah. Holy villagers, Kados. That is correct. Pavise did come in. See, we'll see. Gonna have some switch to light cav here for Verstoert as well. I can't say I hate the play, but I don't know if it's all that well off either. So.
I mean, a few cavalry units are always good for raids. I highly doubt that light cav will be making up the backbone of his army.
Even have scale mail armor coming in, which is a little awkward.
Yeah, as Dark, I guess he's going for Bombard Cannon Genoese, and honestly, man, I can see that working. Bombard Cannons, if they land a shot on the group of Arbs, I mean, literally just one shot would be enough to completely turn the fight.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be getting ballistics now. Arbs continue to march across the front here and die from this one range. He really needs to fix that position. And it looks like we're going to see the Camels dive the Trebuchet and try to take him out here. I don't know if that's going to do him any good. Looks like no, they're just going to run in. Again, distracting.
Yep, I mean, I guess the Camels are a disposable raiding force at this point. They're kind of useless in the main battle.
Trebuchet is being built in this castle in the back that has gone unnoticed here for Dark. I mean, honestly, if you look at the current res banks right now, that food count is insane here. It could really pay off if he would get that into military at this point.
Yep, he's selling it with the Saracen market for an incredibly good price. I guess after all that market abuse, food is very expensive. But Darkman, with this castle in the middle, like Trebs sitting under this castle can range like almost half the map. Verstoert is going to be pushed up against the edge, and map control, I mean, is incredibly important, man. Dark, he's going to gain access to more resources. He'll be able to continue crawling these castles. And it's possible that like Dark ends up basically just winning this game by fighting under his own castles.
Yeah, a lot of Genbo did go down there. This Treb is in danger of going down. Bombard cannon taking shots. Treb will be lost, it looks like. That Siege Workshop finally being taken out there. But this Bombard cannon could take out both these Trebs if it lives.
Yeah, the Arbs one-shot it very nicely.
Masonry coming in, a tech that we don't see very long or very often, I feel like, but will be a good position. House, again, that has constantly been an issue, losing these houses and positions forward. Camels are getting some value back here. Ultimately, I mean, I can't believe this isn't a 200 pop game at the moment for both players.
I mean, the fight has been intense pretty much the whole game. Players are pretty continuously queued and their Vil counts are getting up there, but a meat grinder has kind of always been going. As Verstoert, he's pushing this main castle. I don't know how Dark is going to be able to push back against this. I guess, like, Bombard cannons with superior micro are maybe his only choice.
Yeah, I really
But
wonder where those light cav are, if we're going to see those come into play at all here. The Genbo numbers are there, but even running under Castle Fire with those to snipe Trebs and Bombard cannons could be big, as the Genbo are going down heavily here.
yeah, that is a massacre, man. That must have been just 15 Genbo, pretty much the majority of his army. But we actually see that Dark has basically fully pivoted into his own Arbalest. With the Pavise tech in, the Italian Arbs are actually the superior ones. So if it comes to a mirror fight, I would actually prefer the Italians.
Yeah, but gold will become something of an issue on this map should it go long. And currently, Saracens with a better position for that, although the Arbalest numbers are getting massacred here right now.
Yep. And the castle, I mean, it looks like the castle is probably going to stay up, and that is just oh so important, man. On like a micro map like this, it's a little Socotra like. I mean that castle just like covers such a large portion of the map and gives Dark such an ability to like fight with bombard cannons and arbs from under the safety of the castle.
For
I don't
sure.
know, man. So long as that castle stays up, I think Dark's in a fabulous position.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. He's got a Holy Villagers situation over here. But he does have 140 Vils, and he is going to be getting through this res very quickly. Coinage, nope, he cancels it. Bombard Cannon Micro, also important on this map, like you've been saying. And it looks like Verstoort's going to lose another one here, as we see Elite Skirm and some Plate Barding armor coming in. My god, the villagers over here, if there were any time for stables, it would be now, and they are up. Light Cav could do a ton of damage over here, which is actually probably going to help Dark, since he's got quite the overboom at 146 Vils right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't call this an overboom. I would call this Dark being an excellent late game player, man. He's got map control and he's sucking up all the resources on the map while he's doing it. He's queuing and teching into the trash units. I think that Dark is probably going to be able to field the larger and superior army for longer here, man. He's just getting more absolute gold. He's earlier to mix in trash. He has better map control.
Yeah, losing Trebs here for Stort in a bad spot for sure. I mean, that Treb needs to get out of here. Bombard cannons, nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, and this castle is beautiful. It literally covers two different gold piles and a stone pile. It's like a stone's toss away from this other gold, which he can push Verstoort off of. I think he's kind of just castle crawled the map.
Yeah. I don't know, it's rough. It's hard to call. They're both really on separate sides of the map, too, right now. Really, the big difference right now is Dark, just so much more population on the map. and that is going to be difficult to deal with here. Hussar upgrade has come in. There are very few Genbos on the field, so that might help out, and potentially could try to get in and do some raiding somewhere, but ultimately, castles are holding this position for sure.
Indeed, yeah, this is starting to look a lot like an arena late game, actually.
Castle in the middle is getting fairly close to going down here, though.
Yeah,
Needs
it's
some
kind
repairs.
of been it's kind of been in that state for a really long time, actually.
I know, but if this goes down, it's a prominent position he's been holding. We'll see if it happens, what changes, but obviously the military mass so very in favor for Dark right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just watching these bombard cannons though so crucially. You see how important they are. They like are the things that take out trebs, the things that take out buildings. They get a lot of big shots on these archer masses.
Castle does go down for... Oh, he lost both castles on both sides. Wow. A Treb could go down here as well very soon. This push could be halted here for Dark. And again, it looks like he may have... Verstoert may have held that position.
Yeah, the loss of those castles is huge. Those were doing so much for him. And now, I don't know, man. Look at the TCs, though, from Dark. Dark is really digging in his heels for a proper late game here.
He is, but I mean, it's to a point where all these vills will not be able to do a whole lot soon. They're running out of gold on the map, and we have 1,800 gold banked for Verstoert, and I mean, Hussar are free to raid now. There are town centers everywhere. Don't know if we're teched into anything cavalry-wise other than all of the armor upgrades, so I don't think Cavalier is going to come in. I guess Italians just have light cav. Hussar beat light cav. It's going to be rough in the late game here, I feel.
Possibly so. I don't know, man. Dark still
Guard
has...
tower.
Yeah, Dark is still pop-capped with several bombard cannons in production. And I think enough army mass to defend the cannons. I mean, if he pushes back just a couple castles and TCs to answer what Verstoort just did to him, I think Dark is still fine.
Another bombard cannon going down here, though. That's going to be something really to pay attention to, as, you know, the castle is going to go down at home here for Dark Sue, it looks like. And the Hussar raids are into the main economy here. Economic numbers going down, military numbers growing. This is generally what you want to see here. But, oh, Dark is desperate for gold. He's sending vills to their death under the castle that is still up. And the bombard cannons arrive to meet Hussar. And he will lose both of these Hussar. Or both of these bombard cannons.
That is kind of unaffordable here, man. As I think Dark's been a little wasteful with his bombard cannons. Ultimately, that's possibly the reason why he's losing his own castles and he's failing to push.
And holy slaughter on gold.
Yeah, but Dark has like almost 100 military, man. I feel like a lot of the dynamics are really working strongly against Dark here. But he does have a 3-to-1 military advantage. I don't know how he could be losing.
Because he's losing his gold units like this. More bombard cannons gonna go down. Genbo are no longer an option. There's only 6 of them on the map, and Hussar will conquer light cav every day of the week. I think he's just gonna die here. And most of his military... Oh, this is sad. Attacking University.
Yeah, that is unfortunate, but as it goes down, all these military units will get freed up. Dark does have a few hiccups in his macro for sure, like with the over garrison, with letting so much of his army attack the university.
And look at the gold count for Verstoert as Heavy Camel comes in as well. And it's just a massive production. Neither player grabbing relics, kind of something to really pay attention to at this point. Production buildings on the front going down. Most of the army is actually skirmisher. It's 30 skirmisher here. with Hussar out on the map, I just don't see how Dark holds this for much longer.
He would need to be teched into Halb, I think, to
Yeah.
hold this. And he appears to have decided against doing that a long time ago, as Dark's military count drops much faster than he's able to repop it. Dark's lost like a tremendous amount of eco, literally over 100 eco units. It does look like Verstoort's taking this one home. The momentum is very clearly in his favor.
Yeah, and honestly, he could grab some relics. He could have done that earlier, but this is the big military math right here, and it's almost all of it's here, actually. There's no way that this I'm winning military here.
Yeah, I mean, Dark, the absence of like pikes in his army is just very conspicuous. In a trash war, if the opponent is going Hussar, you absolutely need some spear units. And Dark, I guess he was counting on the Genbos as he queues up another 2 bombard cannons. I guess these are like his last great hope, but how in the world is he ever going to defend these? I feel like that gold at this point would have probably been better spent on Halb and similar researches.
Yeah, he's not teched into it at all, though. He needs every defensive upgrade. The Arbalest numbers are just in the center still. There's still siege on the map for both players, but those bombard cannons are coming out of this, and the Arbalest will make work of them, even though the Arbs will go down in the process. Don't want to lose your bombard cannons when they're so expensive at this point in the game.
Indeed, at this phase of the game, the 250 gold in each of those is, I mean, invaluable, man. Like, every single one of those he loses makes it more improbable that he's going to tech switch into spears, and that's literally the only thing that would give him hope against this cavalry spam. Dark looks like he's folding, man.
Yeah, he's trying to produce. He's got a ton of wood. It's really his own option. Verstoort is even going to tech into rams, and I think he's just going to ram push with this military then. I mean, he's got the res. He might even click siege ram.
I mean, yeah, it's a little unnecessary, but why not at this point? It definitely will help to secure the win.
I mean, and he's got more and more units on the field. 42 military to 9 right now. The Hussar continue to do damage. The Eco KD right now is 159 or 162 to 53 in favor of Verstoort.
Yeah, I mean, Dark, his military count is just abysmal. He's floating so much food, the raids are keeping him off his farms. He's about to slip below 100 pop. I mean, the momentum here is just so clearly in favor of Verstoort. Dark, I guess he's just stubbornly trying the same thing he's tried all game, except he no longer has castles or bombard cannons or Genoese.
Yeah, and the siege ram come up on through. Hussar get through an overchop in the back now. Some more vills and another lane for them to get in here. Guard towers, 3 of them here, not really doing much of anything. And honestly, the siege rams will make very, very quick work of all these production buildings. Verstoort is going to throw the huge upset here, and he's going to take this game, winning against the #1 seed here, and in impressive fashion at the least.
Yep. Incredible job by Verstoort. Still has 2 more sets to go, though, to secure himself that Banano championship.
Oh, absolutely. A long road yet, but wow, what a performance today for Verstoort. I mean, the hold on lanes, the Teutons play on banana grounds, and then somehow holding this position on this map when he was out popped and down so far as military pop there for a short time, but it was just all skirm.
Yeah, and the lanes game, though, that is just the most impressive thing. I mean, like I said, I probably would have called GG from his position. It was difficult to imagine a way back into it, but he took down like 30 units in an instant with some mangonel shots, and then to his good fortune, his opponent happened to just totally run out of gold. Verstoert, I wish him the best moving forward in this tournament, man. Very sick stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is an impressive set, to say the least. I mean, honestly, like you said, not having Halb really hurt Dark here. And I think just the economy, somehow, Verstoert had more food and more gold, even though his villager high was much less here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it looked to me like Dark was taking the map and pushing back, but he never actually pushed back into Verstoort's core eco. Dark let his bombard cannons all just get picked off one by one there, and in the end, Verstoort won the trash fight.
Indeed. And thank you, Kados. Thank you. Appreciate it. I was going to answer Hitch there, but what a set. Verstoort taking this set in 4 games. Impressive, to say the least. Blown away with the quality of games from this set. Honestly, wow. GG's to both. Well played. And yeah, we're going to update the bracket, guys. So if you want to avoid spoilers, now would be the time to look away right after you go to this YouTube channel to catch up for yourself. And anyone interested in joining the Open Division, which starts March 1st, there is the Google Doc for you to sign up with. If you guys haven't already, I encourage you to follow and follow the tournament. It's insane. We're in the quarterfinals and about to update the bracket here, guys. Impressive. Alright, here we go. Verstoort knocks out our number 1 seed here in Tutus Asylum, or Dark Tutus, or whatever his names are. And Verstoort moves on here to face Z in the semifinals, which will be a best of 7. Origin of Symmetry and Captain Thomas will be playing, and winner will go on to face Jabari here. Wow. Crazy set tonight.
Definitely an epic one. I think that Lane's game is one for the books, man. For sure.
Oof. Yeah, I agree. That was insane. Still blown away. Great sets tonight, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Don't have anything else for you this evening. If this would have gone to a 5th game, I think we would have actually gone past our usual quitting time, but would have been worth it. GG's, Verstoort. GG's there to Tutus Asylum. Well played. Great rides so far for Tutus Asylum to get this far. Verstoort will move on to face D here. And semifinals. Making the semifinals in this tournament has not been easy for some folks. So, looking forward to seeing how this goes, guys. Hypes in chat, GG's in chat. If you guys haven't seen that emote, there you go. Banano emotes in chat. Let's go. And Jabari, close this out, man.
I'm just so happy with the play we saw tonight, and I think that every surviving player in this bracket has the same stuff in them. So we're in for a real treat as this thing wraps up.
100%. 100%. GG's, guys. We'll see you guys here as soon as we have games again. I will probably play some team games or 1v1s in the meantime. If you guys are interested in watching that happen, come on over. But otherwise, catch you guys. Have a good night. See ya.